Hey guys, Jim Edwards here. Hope you're having a great morning. We decided to bring back the cup of coffee with Jim. So today, oh, that's nice and hot. Today we got a question from my buddy Sharon, who's actually been a customer for a long time. We love Sharon. I've actually cruised with Sharon. She's been on our cruise. So Sharon says, what is the best way to find out what words and phrases to use to reach your ideal customers? How do you know which ones encourage them to do business with you versus which will turn them off, come off as too salesy or cliche? And you know, it's interesting that people ask, what are the magic words? Are there magic words that actually get people to buy as opposed to words that don't get them to buy? And it's not like you're gonna pull out a book like, more words that sell, or words that sell, or phrases that sell, and those are going to be the words that are going to get somebody to buy. It's like, if I use these words, they'll buy, and if I don't use these words, then they won't buy. The actuality is that it's not the exact words you use, like buzzwords and stuff like that, but it's words that you use to create emotion within people that get them to buy. And typically there's an emotion that's going to get somebody to buy your product, as opposed to another emotion that would either not make somebody buy your product or cause somebody just not to care. So there's an old saying, love me, hate me, there's no money in the middle. Another one that people ask, you know, what's the opposite of love? People will say hate. And that's actually not the answer. The opposite of love is indifference, because if you hate, you still give a crap. So here's the thing you need to understand, that your purpose with your sales copy is to create the emotion that will cause people to buy. So if in order to buy from you, you need somebody to feel really sad, so they'll buy something from you to stop feeling sad, then you want to use words that make them feel even sadder than they feel now. There's a formula called problem, agitate, solve, where basically you talk about the problem, but typically the problem just by itself is not enough to get them to take action, because they would have taken action by now. So that's where the second part of the formula, agitate, comes in. So you state the problem and then you make the problem worse. You make it hurt. That's where you're building up that emotion. And then you introduce the solution to get them to buy. Does that make sense? So your objective is to use words that amplify emotion. It's got to be bigger than life. And that's where people will get hypey, where they start using words they see other people using, and, you know, like, buy today, don't miss out. They're trying to create emotion from scarcity rather than keying in on the emotion that's actually going to get people to buy. So again, if the emotion of desire or of greed is what's going to get somebody to buy, then what you need to do is amplify that greed. If buying your thing is going to give them status, then you need to use words that talk about how their friends are going to envy them, talk about how their family's going to admire them, how they're going to look at themselves differently in the mirror when they do that. Oh, thank you, Robert. Robert's here live. He says, this is great. And that's really the biggest thing, is to talk to them in your words with the intention of raising their emotions. So the real thing you need to do is not worry about breaking out your thesaurus to find magic words, but rather to use the word is to define the emotion that is going to get the majority of your ideal people to buy, to subscribe, to click, to take whatever action you want them to take. So you need to define the emotion, define the action, and then with some basic training, some basic skills, some basic templates, you can create sales messages that will really help you to do well, and to say the right things. That's another thing. And then we're going to wrap this up, because I'm running low on coffee and we got other stuff to do, and I don't want this to be like an hour-long thing. But the other thing that you need to keep in mind is that your purpose, besides creating that emotion, is to give people a payoff, some sort of a payoff. And by creating that emotion and then offering the payoff, your words just have to make sense. In other words, there's no magic formula of how to get from A to B. There are patterns that work, but there is no one magical pattern either. I can have one style of sales message be just as effective as another style of sales message. One could be 100 words, one could be 300 words, just as an example. And they would work equally as well, or one might work better than another in one situation and vice versa in another. So it's not that there's a magic combination of words. It's not there's a magic word or magic words in and of themselves. The key is the emotion that you need to raise in somebody to get them to take the action you want them to take in a very specific situation. So I hope that answers your question, Sharon. It's great to see you guys. We're up early, so that's why we're having coffee. We're having Black Rifle coffee, as a matter of fact. You know, for those of you that don't know, my name is Jim Edwards. I create tools that help people just like you go from a blank screen to compelling content and money-making sales messages at the click of a button. No experience required. Check out my wizards. Check out funnel scripts. And we'll see you guys soon in another video. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.